Welcome back to episode 26 of DomsPod. I'm your host, Dom Armando, for a special report of DomsPod. Here we got Shawnee Peters.
Thank you very much, Tom. Very happy to be here.
Here, let me make sure. So, a lot of news around sports and high school football, too.
Yeah, we're going to kick it right off. I think the most topical sporting event for Long Island, at least for us, is Massapequa's big win, 55-18 last night for their third straight Conference One title. That's never been done before. There's a good argument this is the best high school football team in Long Island history.
Long Island history?
Now, listen, it's a Conference One team. It's the big schools. In my mind, those are the schools with the most deepest talent. You know, the Massapequa Mustangs are clearly the class of the travel football program on Long Island, and here we have a three-peat Conference One champions. I don't know. I think the argument can be made, especially over Garden City. I think that's what people really want to see is the Massapequa Garden City matchup.
I would love to see that. And for actually a fun fact, we are the only grade in our grade to go undefeated versus Massapequa.
Is that JV football?
No, that was Thunder. That was like Pee Wee football.
Oh, so the Garden City Thunder is the travel team opposite Massapequa Mustangs.
Yes.
Okay.
So it was like Pee Wee football before middle school and then high school, and we were the only age group to go undefeated versus them and not lose a game to them ever.
Interesting. All right, Dom Adamando, I got a question for you. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yes.
You're from Garden City. You play football for the
Yes.
Garden City travel team.
Yes.
The game everybody wants to see,
Yes.
Varsity High School, Massapequa versus Garden City at Hofstra. Who are you rooting for, Dom?
I go to Garden City. I have to root for them, but at the same time, in my heart, I will still root for Massapequa.
Okay.
So I would be a 50-50. I don't care who loses. I don't care who wins. If I play in it, then I'm rooting for Garden City, obviously. But if I'm not playing it, I'm rooting for Massapequa.
Okay, that's fair. I can't fault you for that. But you do have Pequa roots in your family, don't you?
Yes, I have a lot of Pico roots. My cousin, if you didn't know this, he was on varsity for football, and he started as a junior, and he didn't the last year that he played because he tore his ACL in his senior year as a quarterback. Paulie Delanto, if you ever heard of that name.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
he actually in his junior was the last year they lost, and it was to Farmingdale. And he is a D1 commit at Stony Brook right now
For football?
For baseball.
For baseball.
He's a catcher.
Amazing. All right. Well, so you got football in your blood. That's a good answer. And why don't we move on from high school sports now?
Yeah. So we got the New York Islanders to talk about because I see we're both wearing Islanders stuff right now, and it's been a fun 20 games experience to be a New York Islander.
Yeah,
fan
listen,
right now.
I'm wearing my 2021 members only Islanders season ticket holder jacket. I wear it proudly. For my money, Dom, I think they're the best team in hockey. You could take the Colorado Avalanche and their record, but coming off a 7-game road trip where they're 6-1, their only loss was to the Avalanche. They were only losing 2-1 with a minute and a half left. The goalie made some Wedgwood made some spectacular saves. I think the Islanders got the better of the play. 6 of the 7 teams they played on the road trip are playoff teams. The only one that wasn't is the Rangers. We're all very happy to see the Rangers sitting in last place. We agree there?
Definitely. The entire Metropolitan separated by only 6 points right now.
I know. And the Islanders are the number 6 team in the league right now.
Is it 6? I put 7. I guess
it might have been different from last night. But in any event, I think we all agree we're happy to see the Rags in last place. And the Islanders as, if not the best team in hockey, they're certainly the hottest team in hockey.
I mean, the only thing I'm really optimistic about right now is the power play. I know it's a little low I know it's the statistics, it's low, but right now, they have been moving the puck so well on the power play with Matthew Schaefer. It has been incredible to see them play like that.
I totally agree. I think when you have 2 playmakers on the ice in Matthew Schaefer and Matthew Barzal, I think it makes for some of the most exciting hockey in the NHL. And just on the Islanders, if I can add, I think Patrick Roy has done an amazing job as coach this year, and that is in large part due to the new GM Darche. I call it the French Canadian connection.
I like that. I actually like
Right?
that nickname.
I know, and I
And
think between Jonathan Drouin, who's from Quebec, and Pajot, who I believe is from Montreal, uh,
both
these
French Canadians.
these players are playing really well, and Darche and Roy are managing and coaching the team, seamlessly. It's been fantastic.
I have just been in complete like. Listen, this is a person that was last year was all out on getting rid of Patrick Wall.
I
I
know you were. I
was
remember.
I was a person saying fire Patrick Wall and move on and get another coach. But now looking at this, it wasn't the Patrick Wall problem. It was a Lou Lamoriello problem, in my opinion. Well, he's now a co-owner. I heard he's going in the ownership.
It's tough to go too bad on Lou, Dom. You have to admit he got us a fantastic trade. No one wanted to see Brock Nelson leave the Islanders, but that was a haul he got us in that trade.
And Cal Ritchie's been playing great
Exactly.
recently.
21-year-old Cal Ritchie. Let's talk about. Do you want to talk about the fourth line?
Oh my God, Shabanoff, where did he come from?
I mean, 25-year-old rookie. The Islanders took a shot on him, right? He came over from the Russian league.
Yes, he. I have to say though, they did an awesome job this offseason. I have to say it was a 10 out of 10. And now I looked back at something the other day with the Bo Horvat trade.
Sure.
We won that trade by a landslide.
Who did we give up for Bo?
Atu Ratu, who hasn't gotten anything. He's got 6 points in 20 games. Anthony Barvillier, who's there for less than a year. A first-round pick that I'm not sure who they got in that. And then they got a fourth-round pick. But both those guys, I believe, are not in the NHL currently right now.
I'm not upset to see Bavillier not on the Islanders anymore. I know he's very close with a lot of players in the team, but he scored some big goals for us in the playoffs on our two runs to the Eastern Conference Finals. But I feel like they're a better team without him. And on successful trades, you want to talk about the Noah Dobson to Montreal Canadiens trade? I mean,
It's a little early to say that, I think, right now. But right now, it's leaning to the direction where the Islanders are in favor of winning that trade. They got Emil Heineman. They got 2 first-round picks, which they were able to select Keishon Aitchison and Victor Ucklin. And that trade right now looks to be very good and very deep. Noah Dobson has not been, listen, he's not been the same player he was a couple of years ago with that 70-point season. He's been a guy that he's not been making great defensive plays.
I would agree with you. I'm just telling you, with Heineman, who's a young kid, second year player, he's turned into a real sniper, and obviously they've got fantastic players playing at Bridgeport and still playing in college.
Bridgeport's really good right
yeah,
now.
Bridgeport's playing really well. Keishon, right? Atchison
Yes,
is
he's leading the OHL in defenseman scoring right now.
Yeah, I saw he had a hat trick in the first period last week. And then let's not forget Cole Eiserman playing for Boston University.
I think that was the biggest steal of the draft.
Yeah. So the Islanders are, to wrap it up, you're talking about the hottest team in hockey. My argument is they're the best team in hockey right now. They've got the deepest farm system, arguably. They've got a fantastic GM and coach working well together. We haven't even talked about Sorokin being back in top form, with Rittich doing a really nice job backing him up.
When Varlamov comes back,
they're going to have to make a decision.
Is I haven't heard anything about him. Is he been skating with them, or is
I haven't heard a thing. I haven't heard a thing about Varley. We love Varley. He's been a fantastic goalie and player for the Islanders.
His time's coming to an end soon?
I think it's I think Rittich has done a nice job backing up Sorokin, but the most important thing is Sorokin's back to being a Vezina quality netminder.
Absolutely. Bo Horvat, back to him. He's on pace for 54 goals right now. He has 25 points in nearly 20 games.
I will say today's game at 3:30 at UBS Arena, it's very important. They're playing a very weak St. Louis Blues team. They've got to smoke this team. You cannot come back home after such a successful road trip.
And the place is going to be packed.
And have a hiccup. It's going to be packed. It's going to be packed. And you and I will be there.
Yes. We'll be in a box tonight, actually, I heard. The goals against, by the way, 16th in the NHL, 62 allowed. They're top 6 in scoring this year. 69 goals scored. Weird number. Penalty kill, 11th in the NHL. The special teams has looked much, much better than last year, and I think they did a great job in hiring both Brian Booch and I'm not sure who the other guy's name is.
The
The,
coaching.
the
I'm
assistant.
actually not sure myself, but no question, it's a much more exciting team. Their style of play. This is not Barry Trotz hockey. This is wide open, exciting. In fact, I think one of the Devils players said that they're the most they have the best rush in the league over the blue line.
Did you see how they've been playing? Like Pat Darsh changed his entire style of play. Like Lou was a slow guy. He was back in like the '80s, like all old time hockey.
Dump and chase.
Dump and chase.
Dump and chase.
But
Barry Trotz loved that too.
and we were good with it too.
Yeah.
We were a successful team, made it to the Eastern Conference Finals twice. But when Brian Tr- Tr- Brian Trotz, Barry Trotz, sorry, left, um, it looked like we were the most boring team in hockey at one point.
Yeah, it was a bit of a hangover with the first year with Patrick Watt. Or was this the third year now with him?
This is the
This is the third
well.
year.
They technically because they fired Lamorel. Oh no, not Lamorel.
Barry Trotz,
Lane Lambert.
Oh,
Lane Lambert.
Oh. I really don't want to
And
get into Lane Lambert. I'm not a fan of his coaching or the way he treated some of the veteran players.
he's in Seattle now.
Yeah, he got the head coaching job.
I'm
there.
shocked by
Yeah,
that.
I was shocked too.
This is a good trivia question because I was actually listening to this. The Islanders have the most guys with 10 points in the NHL right now. Can you name them? There's 8 guys. I didn't put this on your note sheet. Do you think you can name them?
Okay. Schaefer,
It's number 5,
Pajot,
7.
Horvat, Barzal.
Yes. Horvat's 1, Barzell's 2. So now you have 3, 4, and 6 and 8.
Is Heineman.
4.
Okay. Duclair.
Duclair is not on the list. He only has 7 points right now.
Wow, so that's someone who can come up and get.
Can you try doing it without your phone?
No, I'm not looking it up. Not looking it
No,
up.
no.
Let me think who else. Palmieri.
Yes, number 3, 16 points. He's been playing great this year.
He sure has. And did I mention Druin?
You did not mention Struan, and he's number 6. You're only missing number 8 right now, and it's a guy that I feel like you would not get.
Okay, is it a defenseman?
No, he's not.
Interesting. Okay, I give up. Give it to me, Dom.
Anders Lee.
Anders Lee.
10 points this year. He has 3 goals, 8 assists.
Yeah, he's been an amazing. The captain, and he's been amazing. You've met him. You've met him before, first.
Yes, yes, I have. I have to say though, the veteran guys are playing much better than last year. I don't know what it was last year that the Islanders fixed. This team looks a lot better.
Agreed. It was a team in transition, and I think they've really found their place, their style of play. These young players and the people that they've added have. It's a fantastic mix of veterans, transfers from other teams through trades, and also the young players. I think the difference maker has to be. I can't believe we haven't mentioned this yet and talked about him, Matthew Schaefer.
Yeah, I can't believe that either. He has 15 points in his first 20 games. I mean, he is on pace to win the Calder Trophy easily, I think, as an 18-year-old. He's 3 years older than me. He wouldn't be graduating high school right now, and he's playing in the NHL.
I think the Calder Trophy is a no-brainer. I think that there's 2 other things we need to talk about. I'm hearing he is being they're talking about him potentially making Team Canada.
I heard that too.
And then also, could he win the Norris Trophy over a player like Makar?
I think you got to give it to Cale Makar this year, but I definitely see him winning it next year, though. I know it sounds crazy to say that. He's been so good, but it's a little too early to say a rookie like that is going to win the Norris.
Well, we have a long way to go. I think this team is going to compete for a cup, and I couldn't be more excited for this game at 3:30.
Okay, Islanders St. Louis Blues at 3:30 today. The Islanders are favored in that game, first home game in 8 games. So we'll hear about it. And now let's transition a little bit. MLB free agency. I mean, this has been going a lot around the league. As a Met fan, we're both Met fans too. It's just a completely different team at this point right now. You let Alonso opted out, Edwin Diaz opted out, and they are just making different habits now, and I think they're going in a different direction of everything, completely different coaching
I agree, Dom. I'm going to let you talk a little bit about the Mets here. I will just comment. The team, as it was constructed last season, was not very strong.
It was not.
They didn't take care of pitching. They had a very strong lineup. Alonso did his job. But really, pitching wins ball games. Defensively, I think that they struggled a little bit too. But they've got to shore up that starting rotation.
Yeah, I was gonna say though, are you a fan of David Peterson? Do you think you keep him as a starter next year?
I think you have to see how he does in training camp, but I think you need to pencil him as like a third or fourth starter. Yes.
Shamanaya, I would assume he had a bad year last year. Well, he was hurt most of the year, and then I don't know, he was not pitching great. He only went like you can only get 5 innings out of your guys. You couldn't get 6 innings out of your pitching staff last year, and I think that's your main problem. And I think you need consistent pitching, and I think they should be going all in on pitching this year. They should definitely re-sign. Their number two priorities are Pete Alonso and Edwin Diaz.
No
No doubt,
question.
no
No
question.
question at all.
You can't let those if you can't replace Pete Alonso's bat. His defense you can replace, but you can't replace that guy's bat. He has the most power I think in the MLB right now. And then you're gonna let go. And if you don't resign Edwin Diaz, you're not gonna find a consistent closer like him who had like 30 to 35 saves.
I'd love to hear your opinion of the biggest free agents signing in easily the last 10 years for the Mets. Uh, you tell me, how do you think he did?
Soto
Juan Soto.
start off the year struggling, got it going, and I thought this was one of the best signings. I get it; it was a little overpaid, but it will definitely show in the next couple of years of his bat. And the Mets are in need. They do not have an MVP winner at all in their franchise history, but I think this could be their first MVP winner in the next 2 to 3 years coming.
He clearly got screwed and should have made the All Star team.
Unbel-
Yes.
and he was a runner for MVP last year. Same thing with Lindor. It's just like becoming an All Star is just a popularity vote at this point. It's
Yeah, it was definitely an anti-Soto vote because for some reason they held that massive contract over his head. But I forget all the stats at midseason, but he was clearly an all-star and carried that team for a very long time. Do you think Mendoza's on the hot seat if they start off slow after a
yes,
very disappointing 2025?
yes.
I agree with you.
I'm gonna go in that direction. His managing wasn't like I get it. He was trying to push some guys forward a little bit on pitching, but I think you got him. It's gonna be a completely different team if he's gonna listen. He's getting another chance. I think he's lucky he's getting another chance.
I agree.
And
Look,
David Stearns, I think he's on the hot. I think he is scorching hot right now.
I think, listen, with Francisco Lindor clearly the leader of the team, I think this next season we're going to see Soto in his second year really take on more of a leadership role as well. These free agent signings are very important. I think they do need to shore up their staff. And there's been talk of another a Japanese phenom that might be coming the Mets way
What is
as
that? That
well.
third baseman?
Yeah,
You want to hear a stat that I learned about?
sure.
He is not even batting. He didn't even bat 100 versus 95 or faster. Don't even take him after that. After I heard that stat, I am not even in on him. To be honest with you, I don't think we should be going after Japanese guys like that. I think we should be going after current MLB players, and I think coming from Japan is probably one of the toughest things in going to the MLB, in my opinion.
Well, we've had a couple of guys in the Dodgers do it very successfully. So I think David Stearns and Steve Cohen are clearly going to be over there giving him a very, very strong arm.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, I think all those Japanese guys are going to the Dodgers. In my opinion,
Really?
I think the Dodgers are gonna break baseball, and we're gonna be in a lockdown in a couple of years because
Uh,
of it. I think they said if the Dodgers win the World Series, I'm hearing the MLB is going right into lockdown to fix their salary cap problem
yep.
and fix everything. And I think I am totally agreeing on this because you can't have a team that's a super team, defer money every year, and not have a salary cap. I think the salary cap, coming from a Met fan who they spend a lot of money every year, they need to add a salary cap.
Interesting. Okay, you know what? That's a whole nother ball game. I don't want to talk about the Yankees. I assume you don't either. We both root against the Yankees as much as we do the Rangers in hockey, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like I hate the Rangers more, but like Yankees aren't like I hate them, but like they have I would say their team going forward is going to be very good, and I think it's time that they get rid of Aaron Boone. Maybe if they are going to struggle, so both New York teams are going to have a tough think about maybe manager changes. Maybe next year, I'm thinking.
Yeah, Brian Cashman and Aaron Boone. I would say if they don't go deep into the playoffs next year, they're both gone.
I agree with you
It's
on
just
that.
time. It's just time. You have to turn the page.
Brian
Yankees.
Cashman has been there from '93, maybe. I would assume he's won
Yeah, I think
championships.
Stick Michael was there in 93, 94. I think maybe Cashman started around 95, but he was with the team, I think, as an intern when he was as a young kid.
Insane.
So I do agree that this is a make or break year for the Aaron Boone Brian Cashman tandem. Can I bring up another team that I've been going to a lot of games this year
Absolutely.
already, and I'm only bringing it up because
I know
they're
you're
a
talking about
national contender for a championship.
St. John's.
The St. John's Red Storm, headed by Rick Pitino. In 3 seasons, he's turned them into a powerhouse. We got Madison Square Garden sold out for a game versus Alabama 2 Saturdays ago. They lost in overtime, but
They need to step up their defense a little bit. I gotta say though, after that. But right now,
yeah, that's true.
they
They gave up over 100 points. They rarely, if ever, do that. And Rick Pitino teams are known for their defense.
they'll fix it though.
Zuby Ejiofor is their center and best
I
player.
love them.
They have a lot of transfers. I think in the number one transfer portal team. Dylan Mitchell was just named the co-captain.
You know I'm a big fan of Ian the Jackson kid they got from UNC.
Interesting you say that because he's going to be fighting for playing time now. He was
Really,
the only 5-star recruit that they brought over.
really.
He's from North Carolina. He had a really good game against. They just beat Bucknell. I think he had
Bucknell.
20 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Let's hope that's a breakout game. We're going to find out. They go to Vegas for a tournament just before Thanksgiving. I think the first game is Monday night versus Iowa State. And then
Oh, I haven't watched. The only game I really watched was Alabama, but definitely need to tune in more. I mean, they're 15th in the country right now, and at the start of the year they're fifth.
Yeah, the Alabama loss hurt, although that was an overtime loss. Alabama has arguably the best backcourt in the country, especially this kid Holloway. And don't forget, Dylan Darling, the St. John's starting point guard, did not play that game because that easily could have been a difference maker
Yes.
and gotten them over the hump. But really fun team to watch. I've gone to Carnesecca Arena in Queens for games versus William and Mary and now Bucknell. A few games. We had an exhibition game against Michigan, and then the overtime thriller versus Alabama. The next big one is going to be Saturday, December 6th, 8 p.m. against Ole Miss. Credit Rick Pitino for giving St. John's arguably the hardest schedule in the country. He wants them ready by tournament time, battle hardened against some of the best teams during the regular season, not just in the Big East, obviously, but his non-conference games. Incredible.
Listen, last year that team could have went to the Final Four, but they couldn't beat former Kentucky coach John
Calhoun, yeah,
Calhoun.
Arkansas. That was a tough game. I think the refs really screwed them in that game, and then obviously
RJ
Lewis, who was Big East Player of the Year,
had 4 points.
and
Unacceptable.
I think Pitino pulled him from the game with like 5 or 6 minutes left. I think he basically wasn't listening to the coaches. He was forcing up shots, not passing the ball off, and
Your shooting was the
Pitino's a
big.
Hall of Fame coach. He's not gonna mess around. He's gonna pull him.
You need shooting. Biggest problem was last year. You need shooting. What did Patino do? He went all in the transfer portal and got everybody what they wanted, and for years to come, if he's going to be their coach, I mean, St. John's could be. We're talking about number one, number two in the portal, maybe, or like teams to commit to.
Listen, they're always going to be competitive while Rick Pitino's the coach, and we have Mike Rapoli, who's funding a lot of the NIL for the transfers. Hosan Sanan, Oziah Sellers from Stanford. Obviously, they took Ian Jackson from UNC, like we discussed. They have Ruben Prey coming back from last year's team, along with Zuby Ejiofor. And then the big one that I think he's played fantastic so far this year is Bryce Hopkins, who came over from being hurt for most of last season on Providence. So it's going to be a fantastic, fun season. Rick Pitino's style of play is defense first, run and gun, but very, very competitive. He's got a very deep team. I think they go 11 deep, and it's must-see TV. So that's the other team besides the Islanders that I'm really, really excited about.
March Madness, I'm going to say something crazy. March Madness is probably one of the best sporting events during March, in my
I don't
opinion.
think it's crazy at all, Don. I think
I
it's
think
clearly
when you fill out your brackets, you watch them during work, school, whatever. It's the most fun time, in my opinion, to watch sports and have upsets. Last year wasn't great. I felt like there were not a lot of upsets in the first round, but this year, hopefully, you get to see maybe a couple of upsets, maybe two seeds go down, like 15. Like remember St. Peter's a couple of years ago with them that run.
there's nothing like, but it's we're seeing less and less upsets. If you recall last year in March Madness, these teams in the with the NIL,
Yeah,
these big money teams, they go pretty deep, and you're not seeing as many Cinderella stories for that reason. Teams just get absolutely stacked with with the NIL for the Big East tournament and for the Big East in general. The Danny Hurley, Rick Pitino, UConn versus St. John's.
that's a guaranteed matchup already. I gotta say that's already guaranteed in the Big East final.
Wow. Okay.
I,
Well,
I I'm gonna say that right now. I think Marquette's doesn't look great right now. They're not even ranked. Creighton doesn't look that as promising.
Creighton's always good though. Creighton's well coached, and they always have a team that goes pretty far.
We'll see on that. But every other team in the Big East, there's only like four. There's not really that much teams that look good because they don't have any NIL stuff right now. Like Georgetown doesn't look good. Villanova, I don't know what happened to Villanova ever since Jay Wright left.
They had a couple of coaching changes. I think the guy they have now, I forget his name, the guy they have now, they're very happy with. I would expect Villanova to be a lot more competitive this year. It's all about the transfer portal and the NIL, playing in this new coach's system. But Nova is not a team that's going to be down very long. They have a lot of alumni that care about college basketball. I think they're going to be well funded. You want to move on to the NFL?
I'm in on it. I mean, we'll definitely report on St. John's for the next couple weeks to come, and hopefully we'll see them dance in the March Madness and maybe win an Addy this
Yep.
year.
You and your dad got to get to a game with me at courtside
Absolutely,
with me.
absolutely. I haven't been there in years. I haven't been to that arena in so long. I remember the last time I went there, they were really, really bad. Like I remember from my childhood as them being a team that was like the bottom of the Big East. Like that's how I was like.
Well,
That's
you're
how
not
I.
old enough to remember Lou Carnesecca and the glory years, obviously, well before you were born. But when I was your age, I would go with my dad to, it was called Alumni Hall back then. And you had players like Chris Mullin and Walter Berry and Mark Jackson, all went into the NBA and had great careers. And they had Final Four teams, especially obviously in '84 when they played Patrick Ewing in Georgetown and lost. But, extremely exciting teams. And when St. John's is good, all of New York City embraces the team like we're seeing in 2025. Uh, really good. It's going to be a really fun season. It has been already.
They have the guy Jenkins, who former guy. He graduated in 2024, I believe. He now is taking over the Pistons by storm
I
right
saw
now.
that he got an NBA Player of the Week or an
Yeah,
award. Yeah,
he's up for it right now.
I think he was a Patino guy from Iona that
Yeah,
moved to St. John's with Patino. If I
I
remember.
think so.
Yeah,
Yeah, too. With like Soriano and all that stuff. I haven't heard that person's name. Joel
yeah. I
Soriano.
don't know what happened.
He's in like Dominican. Is like in the Dominican Republic, I believe. I
Well, on
believe.
that point, it's very important for these players. I think it's good for college basketball in general that you're going to see instead of going to the NBA and test the draft, as long as they're getting paid decent money through the NIL, they're going to stay in school because if they don't make an NBA roster, they're going to end up in the G League making next to no money and taking buses to games. So I think you're going to see more and more players staying in school, taking the NIL money, and making the college basketball season much more exciting.
So this is all right. We'll go over to the NFL right now. So coming from you're a Jet fan, I'm a Giant fan.
Yep, both disasters for the last, let's call it 10 years. Let's be honest.
What are your thoughts on the Jets selling their entire team at the deadline? Pretty much with Gardner going and Quentin Williams getting out of New York and going to teams that look like contenders and playing much better. Gardner looks terrible, I have to say, versus Atlanta. He does not look like the same rookie season we saw out of him, a defensive player.
I'm very, very negative on the Jets. You're not going to hear me say a lot of good things. I know they have a ton of draft picks the next couple of years. Um, go back to Aaron Rodgers and Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas.
I think Aaron Rodgers destroyed the Jets for the next 5
They
years.
gave him everything he wanted. Clearly, he got hurt in the first game of the season. That was just an absolute backbreaker. But he had a terrible attitude. Everybody the Jets wanted him to sign, they signed.
Al Lazard, who's been awful.
Awful. Just Jets and disaster are two words that are going to be intertwined. I was at the last Jets playoff game, late January 2011, the AFC Championship versus.
You went to New England?
It was Pittsburgh.
Oh, it was in Pittsburgh? Oh.
They lost 24-22.
Mark Sanchez.
Sanchez.
He's in jail now.
Well, he's out on bail, and we're going to have to see what happens with the prosecution. He clearly had a very bad night in that bar. He ended up getting stabbed, and instead of the other guy getting arrested, he was arrested for assault, and it turns out the truck driver who stabbed him was in self-defense. So clearly Mark Sanchez has gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and we'll have to see how that ends up. But that team he quarterbacked, was a very competitive team. It's so long ago. It's been almost 15 years.
Yes.
And let's just talk about Aaron Glenn and this team. And Justin Fields didn't work out. And, they've
clearly
penalties are nonstop. They're 2-7 or 2-8. The only worst team, which is arguably even say they're worse, are the New York Giants, the team that you root for.
Now, we're gonna keep it with the Jets for a little bit, and then we'll go to the Giants. Woody Johnson, sell the team. I've been convincing this. I've been saying it on my podcast for the last probably months now. The Jets need to move on and need a completely different team. I think
Dom Adamondo. My prediction for you and football.
Yes.
Is you really want to wear a Massapequa Chiefs jersey, and then you're going to really put on a New York Jets jersey. If Steve Cohen buys the team from Woody Johnson, moves them to Queens in a new stadium opposite Citi Field. Talk to me.
I wouldn't.
You're going to switch colors. You're going to be part of Gangrene if Steve Cohen buys that team, and they have a brand new stadium on the Port Washington line.
You think Steve Cohen would?
I think he would. I think if Woody Johnson offered the team up, he's been such a bad owner. He's an absolute embarrassment. The team does not belong in New Jersey.
They belong. They're actually a team that belongs in Queens. I'm telling you right now.
It's a Long Island, Queens-based, fan base. I think that's probably they have no culture around the team. I know that they have the training facility in New Jersey that's brand new or relatively new.
I toured that actually. One of the nicest facilities I think I've seen in a long time. Compared to the Giants one, the Jets one was so much nicer. But to be honest with you, I feel like they need to move that and go to somewhere else, in my opinion.
Woody Johnson's got to sell the team. We'll see what Aaron Glenn's already shown himself to have, a very thin skin, in the press conference.
I don't think he's gonna get fired this year.
No,
I think
he's
going to
give him another year. I think, but it's been a disaster. Rookie GM, rookie head coach.
I actually like the GM a lot. Actually, I get it. He made a couple bad signings, but what he did at the trade deadline was an A plus. Moving on from guys and starting this entire thing over.
It remains to be seen. We don't know until he makes his picks in the 2026 and 2027.
Jeremiah Smith is going to be a Jet.
The least bit optimistic about this team. I'm sorry, you're not going to get me to say anything good about the Jets. I do like this quarterback from Indiana, but it turns out I think they're if the season ended today, they're drafting like third or fourth, so they're not going to get a chance.
The Giants are drafting ahead of them,
yeah.
and they're a team, by the way. We'll get in the Giants now that should not even be in the top 5. I think they should be a team right now competing for a playoff spot. If they didn't blow versus Denver, Dallas, they didn't have all these blown leads, they would be a team competing for a playoff spot right now if they could control the end of the game situation. And I think firing Brian Daboll was the absolute right decision, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think I guess Daboll gets some credit. I think he was part of the drafting of Jackson Dart, who looks to be like the real deal. But horrible job as coach. Also has a tough attitude, had a bad attitude.
I was a fan. Listen, this is coming from a guy who's a Brian Daboll fan.
Okay, listen, his first year, he got NFL Coach of the Year. They made the playoffs when they weren't even supposed to, right? But
that team was awful. That team should be maybe won 3 games that year.
give him a lot of credit for bringing them to the playoffs. But you know what? It may have been the biggest curse and the worst thing that could have happened to that team. They should have been in a full rebuilding mode.
And they should have, you know what they should have done? They should have re-signed Barkley. They should have been hammered. They should have handed him a 5-year, $100 million deal. 1,000%. That guy carried that entire team, had probably one of the best years out of a running back that year, outside of his year that obviously had last year. Second best. He had an offensive line that couldn't block.
Talk about Saquon.
Saquon.
Yeah.
And Daniel Jones. I mean, he had a great year, but you overpaid for him tremendously, and that didn't work out. And you had to break up that duo in less than a year after that.
I don't know. You keep looking at the Jets and the Giants. The players that leave to go to other teams end up having success. There's something going on at MetLife Stadium. I think it's
one playoff game there.
One playoff.
One playoff game.
I have great memories from 14 years ago of those Nick Mangold, rest in peace, Mark Sanchez, Braylon Edwards, Santonio Holmes teams. But that was so long ago. I almost want to move on from talking about the Jets and the Giants because they're absolutely depressing franchises. They have the two worst records in the NFL, I think, over the last 10 years.
You want to hear a fun fact?
Sure.
Tom Brady has more wins than the New York Giants, and he hasn't played since 2023. 32 wins, and the Jets and the Giants have 30.
I think we move on from the Jets and the Giants. The only thing that gets me back at this point.
I was 1 year old when they won their last playoff game, the last Jet playoff game that they played.
Steve Cohen, please rescue the New York Football Jets. Force them, give Woody Johnson an offer he can't refuse. Move him to Queens, and we'll come back. Otherwise, I think I might be done.
You're going to quit on the Jets?
They've quit on me.
They quit on you. They quit on me.
You want to go over this week's NFL
Absolutely.
Week 12?
Yes. I think a lot of games. Listen, I'm 1 out of 8 guys left in a knockout pool right now.
Wow.
In the men's club, and
all right,
I'm still debating.
Let's find your winner right now.
We have a listen. I'm going to tell you right now. This week and next week games are going to be fantastically fun to watch. Like we have Thanksgiving football. Obviously, I think that's got to be the best time. My favorite time of the year to watch football on Thanksgiving.
Arguably the best holiday of them all as well.
And I think, listen, it's just really fun to watch it on Thanksgiving. And I love the tradition and seeing the Lions and Cowboys play on every year. And always, the games are always close. There are no blowouts, really. So hopefully we'll see the same with this year. All right, so let's get into the NFL schedule. To open it up, probably one of the games of the week, I would say. The Indianapolis Colts are taking on the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead.
That's at Arrowhead, so the KC is going to be like a 3.5-point favorite.
Yes, I didn't write all the lines down because I didn't.
That's fine. We can talk about that game. I think the Chiefs are 5-5. The NFL clearly wants the Chiefs back in the playoffs. I think they're going to rig the game the way they've been doing with the refs.
I agree with you on
in
that.
Kansas City's favor on Thanksgiving. Is that a Thanksgiving?
No, that's not. This
Sunday
is the
game?
week. This is the week. This is this Sunday, and then before Thanksgiving.
I know the Colts are 8-2. They've been one of the best teams to root for this year. The comeback of Daniel Jones, clearly going to get NFL Comeback Player of the Year. It seems like an amazing run for them, but they're going to.
I think Kansas City wins this game.
They're going to run into the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, which don't even get me started on those two, and obviously.
I think his career has been going downhill ever since Bay got engaged.
Well, he's a Hall of Fame tight end. He's going to retire after this year. And he's going to be.
You think he retires after this year?
I think there's no question. There's no question.
I'm going to still take the Chiefs in this game. I think this team, there's no way they're going to lose at home in a game that they need to win. They're 5-5. I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs to beat the Indianapolis.
You know what? Just for argument's sake, I'm taking the Colts. I'm taking the hot team. I think maybe the NFL might be ready to turn the page, and they won't rig the game with the refs like they have in the past with Patrick Mahomes. And I will take the Colts getting the points at Arrowhead.
Okay. All right, we got the Steelers versus the Bears. I mean, this is a Bears team, by the way.
Surprise team this
year.
They're
this year. 7-3 right now. They are one of the hottest teams in the NFL. Remember, they started 0-2. They've won 7 of the last 8 games. A team that's been scoring a lot of points. They have a second-year quarterback who usually you say sophomore slump. I'm going to rephrase it, say sophomore success. Because this guy named Caleb Williams has been unbelievably fun to watch. And the Chicago's Bears team, I'm looking at their schedule to end the year.
This game's at Chicago or at Steelers?
This is at Chicago. This is in Chicago.
And they're laying 2.5 points.
Yes.
Oh, I think you take the Bears all day. This is going to be Mike Tomlin's last season in Pittsburgh.
If they don't win a playoff game this year,
yep.
I think Mike Tomlin is going to become a New York Giant coach.
In fact, I'll even tell you one of my locks of the week right now is going to be the Bears laying 2.5 at home to the Steelers.
I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers in this game.
All right.
The reason why is I believe the Chicago's Bears team. I looked at their schedule at the end of the year. It looks really, really hard. You want me to read the schedule to you right now?
Sure.
It looks so freaking hard to at least get maybe 3 wins out of. Okay, so obviously they play the Steelers this week. Next week on Black Friday, they play the Philadelphia Eagles at 3:00.
From what I hear, we can talk about the Eagles. They're a team in turmoil right now.
And in Philadelphia, I think you take the Eagles in that for sure. Then they get a bye week out of that. No, they don't get a bye week. Then they go to Green Bay. I think that's a loss too. There.
Never an easy place to play. I do think that the reigning champs in Philadelphia are a team in turmoil.
They're a lock. They're a lock to win the NFC East.
Jalen Hurts. There's something going on with that team.
Yes, I heard about that too. AJ Brown,
yep.
All the drama on Twitch I heard about. They don't really like Jalen Hurts as their quarterback, to be honest with you. And I'm going to be on that favor. I said this on my podcast. He's not going to be with the Eagles, and he's not going to be a starting quarterback in 2 years from now. I think he's the most overrated quarterback in the NFL.
Well,
he's a Super
Bowl winner, so you got to give him credit there.
Yeah.
Okay, who else we got? Patriots and the Bengals.
So, I was going to read the rest of the Bears schedule. Patriots, Bengals. I'm going to take the Patriots in that. No questions. Joe Burrow might play this week, but that defense, man, is just all over the place, and it looks a disaster. So I'm still taking New England. I'm definitely taking the minus 7.5 in this game.
So Patriots laying 7.5 at home against
yes.
the Bengals. Mike Vrabel has done an amazing job. If they get another great run of team, a team with another great run, as a Jet fan, it's just another depressing note having New England turn around and go.
And they have their franchise quarterback.
Yeah,
it takes. And can I go back to the Bears schedule?
Yeah, of course. Go back to the Bears schedule.
The Browns. That's a winnable game there, so they'll go to 8-4. They'll go to 8-5. 8-5 after that.
Agreed.
And then they're going to be hosting Green Bay at home. I'm going to take Green Bay in that one still. And then they play the 49ers in their second to last game on primetime. I'm going to take San Fran in that one. And then they end the year with Detroit. That is such a hard – they have one team that is out of playoff contention right now to finish the year.
I say let's wait and see what happens versus Steelers. You're going to see another very impressive performance by Caleb Williams. They're going to cover that 2.5-point spread. And in the next podcast, we're going to have another discussion about the Bears. I think they're a hot team down the stretch.
Okay, Jets, Ravens. Justin Fields is bench. Tyrod Taylor starting. I'm going to smash the Ravens minus 13.5 in that game.
So I'm gonna actually take the other side here. I'm going to tease that spread to 14 points. I'm going to take the Jets, getting 2 touchdowns with Tyrod Taylor. There's a lot of players in that team trying to make the roster for next year because they know Aaron Glenn's coming back.
Yes.
It's just a lot of points in today's NFL. I got the Jets. Give me 14 points. I'm sure I'll end up depressed and a big loser.
You think the Ravens? You think the Jets beat the Ravens
in
Baltimore?
But I'll take them. I'll take them getting 14 points.
So cover the spread.
I just think they'll keep it close. I think the Ravens win the game. Call it 20-10.
Are you a guy? I'm back to the Jets. I'm just gonna ask this: are you you want that Indiana quarterback Mendoza?
Mendoza, yeah, I take him in a second. He's clearly, I think he's about 24 years old.
Yes.
I think he clearly looks NFL ready. I just don't think they're going to get him.
You think they're going to miss out on him?
I think they're right now they're the 3rd or 4th pick in the draft.
The teams ahead of them, are not even looking for a quarterback. You have the Titans who have their franchise quarterback. I think Cam Ward.
Yep.
The Giants have Dart. I mean, he's going to be out this week. I believe who's the other team ahead of them?
If the Mendoza's there, the Jets are clearly taking him. I don't know if he's going to.
The Saints are definitely going to take him. Saints are definitely going to take one, and the Browns. So you probably need to get ahead of the Browns for the Saints to get a quarterback, maybe, in my opinion, if they want to be tanking, which I think they should be full on tanking at this point.
Well, let's see what happens. I don't. I'm not optimistic about anything about the Jets. I do think 14 points is a lot, though. And Tyrod Taylor is a very accurate quarterback. There's a chance they kind of cover that spread. That's all I would say there.
Yeah, the Ravens are minus 13 after this game. Just to make sure. Seattle versus Tennessee. Seattle's favored by 13.5 in that game, and the Titans are plus 750 on the money line.
That's just a gross game in the
That's
NFL.
a gross.
I don't have.
I think
any
that's a game.
interest.
I think that's a game you take for your knockout pool.
I was going to say.
Who do you take? I'm thinking the Jets for Seattle game as my game. I'm going to avoid the Giants game because I feel like with Jameis Winston, I feel like they made it close versus Green Bay last week. I feel like you avoid that game if
Stay away from the Giants game. They're going to be competitive. The Jets, I do think, are going to be competitive. But if I had to take one team, if you haven't taken Seattle in the knockout pool, you take the Seattle. You lay the almost.
I took Baltimore. I took Baltimore last week, okay. And that's actually the weird thing about this knockout pool. You can take the same team every week constantly. It kind of ruins the knockout pool.
Oh,
but at the men's club, the next 5 weeks though, you have to pick 3 teams. You have to pick like 2, then 3 to make.
And there's only 8 guys left.
Yes.
Interesting.
So I'm going to take Seattle minus 13.5 in this one. I mean, they have a quarterback named Sam Darnold, former Jet, by the way.
Of course, he's doing
Jet Killer. I think you definitely take them versus Tennessee, and I think that's going to be a
I think you're going to move on to the next round of your
knockout pool with the
knockout pool. Yep. What do you got? Vikings, Packers.
I'm going to take.
Is Jordan Love playing for the Pack?
Yes, he is, because I have to start him in fantasy this week because Jackson Dart's out. So I'm going to take such a good. I feel like J.J. McCarthy. Listen, he's not been playing very well.
He hasn't been. He's had some accuracy problems the last few games, right?
I'm not worried about him. If I'm a Vikings fan, I get it. He's not been playing really well, but I still am. Listen, it's coming from a guy who loved him in college, J.J. McCarthy. I'm still on the train of still believing in him, and I think this is a winnable game for the Minnesota Vikings, and I think they're going to stun Green Bay in this one because Green Bay has not been playing. Remember, haven't been playing very well.
It's at Green Bay too, isn't it?
Yes. So I'm going to take the Vikings to win this one, 19-17.
Wow, close one. Okay, I'll take the Pack. I don't think we've agreed on many games thus far today.
Green Bay's favored by 6.5 in that one. I mean, this is a Vikings team that can be, with one win, it could be right back in the division race.
All right,
because how good?
28-13 Pack.
28. We can go back. I actually want. Can we go back to the games and predict the scores?
Maybe? Yeah, let's do it.
So Indianapolis, Kansas City. I'm going to take the Chiefs to win this one, 27-23.
And I have the Colts 17-6. I think the Chiefs are going to have a very, very tough time scoring.
Really?
Steelers, Bears. I'm going to go. I told you. I think the Bears are on a run. They're a hot team. I think the Steelers and Mike Tomlin are going to part ways after this season. I think this could be a blowout game, believe it or not. Caleb Williams is going to be another one of his coming out parties. I got the Bears
winning
24-13 Bears.
And I'm going to go in a different direction, saying the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to win this game 23-20 in overtime. They're going to walk off field goal from Chris Boswell, 45 yards.
Okay.
For the win.
Interesting. That is a very bold prediction indeed. Patriots, Bengals. Patriots laying 7.5. Bengals don't have a quarterback, arguably. The Patriots.
Joe Flacco. I mean, if Joe Burrow plays, I would say 34-31. If he doesn't, I'm gonna say New England wins this one 45-29.
Wow, that's a lot of points. I actually have New England 35-20 over the Bengals because their defense has been a little soft the last few games.
It's been a disaster. Yeah. New England. As far as Cincinnati, Bengals. Cincinnati is terrible.
The Jets Ravens is going to be a low scoring game for the Jets to try to keep it close. I do like Ravens 20-10.
20-10. I'm going to go Baltimore 35-6.
Okay. What do you like in Seattle?
Seattle, I'm going to get 38-11. They're gonna get a late. They're gonna get a late touchdown and then go for 2 Tennessee.
All right. I got Seattle 28-6. A boring game. You're gonna want to turn it off at halftime. 28-6 Seattle.
That's such a. Yeah, I've talked to people who've been to that stadium. They said it's one of the worst stadiums in the NFL.
Yeah, I've never been there myself, but I'd like to eventually. I have a brother that lives in
Tennessee.
He lives in Louisville, Kentucky, not about an hour and a half drive. Okay.
So Vikings, Packers, I said 19-7, 17. That's going to be a really good game at the end to tune in on Red Zone.
Yeah, and once again, I disagree with you. I think the Packers at home and Jordan Love. J.J. McCarthy's been a very inaccurate quarterback, especially the last few weeks. I got the Packers. I think it's going to be tough weather. Call it 14-7 Packers.
Okay. And then we'll talk about the games now that we are going to do, the Giants-Lions. I mean, this is a Giants team that's just, not a great coach team. And Jameis Winston at quarterback, I mean, we'll have to see what their plan is really going forward. And they got to make a couple of changes with their defense. Their defense is not been very good this year.
They've been awful. How are the Lions doing this year?
So the Lions are a team right now that lost a bunch of their coaches. They've been playing pretty well. They didn't win last week to a team that they kind of should have beat.
Is that game in the Dome? Is that in there?
Philly? They got screwed in Philly last week. If you watch the game, there was at the end of the game on 3rd and 9, there was a throw. Hurts completely missed A.J. Brown, and the defender lightly touched A.J. Brown, and they called that a foul. They called it a pass interference and led to the game being over.
Okay. Look, I'm going to take the Lions here. I think the Giants are an absolute disaster.
But I think the Giants keep this definitely closer than you expect. So I'm going to go 34 Detroit, 30 New York.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be a very high-scoring game. And I'm telling you, Jameis Winston's going to have one of the best games probably you'll see out of him, just chucking up the ball every time.
31-10 Lions. I don't see Jameis Winston doing anything. I think that they're a team in absolute turmoil. 31-10 Lions at home. Jaguars, Cardinals.
I'm going to take the Jaguars in this one because of how struggling this Cardinals team has been ever since Kyler Murray's been out.
Yeah, terrible game. Terrible game. I agree with you. I'll take Jacksonville, but I really don't have a lot of opinions or a lot to say about this game.
So I'm going to tell you a guy that you guys should pick up in fantasy based off, and you should start maybe, Michael Wilson. Last week, he was probably arguably it was in garbage time, I get it, but I'm starting him over Romeo Dobbs in fantasy. His game logs last week, he had 33 points versus a San Fran's defense that's been kind of struggling, but also been very good. And he's going against a Jaguars team that's probably a little worse. So I will take Michael Wilson over yards in that game, and especially fantasy points if you want to start him. And I think he should be your waiver wire this week.
Interesting. Okay, I have that marked down as someone to watch.
I'm going to take the Jaguars in that game, 27-23. I think.
I'm going to agree with you there. I have no real opinion of that game. I know the Cardinals are a disaster. I'm with you on the Cardinals. Browns Raiders, not a great game. The Browns are one of the worst teams in football. Geno Smith is playing.
Shedeur Sanders is starting this game.
Shedeur Sanders is starting the game. He just got robbed of a lot of jewelry from his house. I think it was a bad pick, even in the 5th round. I think is where they took him. I got the Raiders. Geno Smith to Brock Bowers for 3 touchdowns. If you want to talk fan.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Geno Smith either has 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, or has 4 interceptions, no touchdowns. That's how he plays. So I'm gonna go very low scoring game. I'm gonna take the Browns in this game, 13-9.
I respect you, Dom. I think you're completely out of your mind taking the Browns in that game and Shedeur Sanders. I've got the Raiders. We'll see who wins.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna switch my pick. I'm gonna go with the Raiders. 20-9 in that game. I think Shedeur probably plays one of the worst games you'll see, and I think this is a Raiders team that came off a loss versus the Dallas Cowboys that they could have beat them, but at the same time, they didn't play really well either.
I got the Raiders 28. I got the Browns 3. That's like a garbage time field goal. I don't know. I just don't see it.
A lot
Be a
of these
close
games
game.
this week aren't great.
Not a lot of great games. Last one, Falcons Saints.
Oof. This is all right. By the way, we're in the 4 o'clock games right now. Falcons Saints.
It's going to be the one of the least notable.
I'm gonna take Atlanta on this one because they lost their quarterback for the rest of the year, Penix, and I think Kirk Cousins is starting, and I think this is his shot to see if he could be an NFL starting quarterback next year, and I think he will show it. The Falcons are going to win this game, 35-17.
Is Bijan Robinson playing? I think he's playing, isn't he?
Rob, Bijan Robinson,
Yeah.
is that your fantasy running
No, I
back?
just watched him recently. He's had a couple of very strong games. Again, this is a
Drake
game.
London might not, I haven't heard anything about Drake London, but if he does play, this team will be very over. They will definitely score a lot of points, and it will show.
Well, to your point, a lot of these later games are just not very interesting at all. I don't see myself watching this game. If I had to pick, I'd say Falcons over a very inept Saints team that has problems up and down the roster. They're another one of these rebuild teams. Just very disappointing couple of years in New Orleans.
Now, probably one of the games of the week: Eagles Cowboys. Big rivalry in Dallas. I see the Dallas Cowboys not winning this game, and I think the
Wow.
Philadelphia Eagles
Okay,
are going to
once
win this
again,
game.
we disagree. I think Dak Prescott's on an MVP type season.
He
I think they're
They fixed their. I think they fixed their defense a little bit. They could have added a cornerback that could have helped them, but at the same time, I think this Dallas team is not going to win this game, and I believe this game is going to be very close than you expect.
okay.
I think this game does go into overtime. I think the Eagles are going to walk off with a field goal, 38-35. It's going to be a very close game and a very high scoring game. In my opinion.
Okay, I think I agree that it's going to be the absolute game of the week. It's going to be the Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts show. I think Cowboys run away with this game, and I think you're going to see even more drama in Philadelphia. During the upcoming week. I think Philadelphia gets exposed here. I think they're a team in turmoil. I think there's a big problem in that locker room, and the Cowboys. This could be one of those seasons where they're actually back. It can make a deep playoff run. Uh, Dak is playing really, really strong football. They're going to be home, and it's going to be Thanksgiving football.
It's not Thanksgiving football. We got one more week before Thanksgiving. The Thanksgiving games this week, I want to go through them before we obviously end the podcast, are going to be very good to watch this year, in my opinion. And I say that every year, basically. All right, so now we got Buccaneers Rams. This is the Sunday night football game. I'm going to take an upset in this one. I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in LA. I believe this is a Buccaneers team that's coming off 2 losses that they could have won and weren't playing that the best. I think Baker Mayfield shows that he can put this Buccaneers team and probably win the division. So I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning this game 35-32. Listen, Matthew Stafford's obviously playing like an MVP. Probably one of the best years you're going to ever see. Only has 3 interceptions to like 35 touchdowns already.
And Devontae Adams is having a decent year too, again, isn't he?
As a wide receiver, too.
Yeah, as a wide receiver too. Amazing. So your pick there is going to be the Rams.
I'm going to take the Rams in this game. Oh, no, not the Rams. I'm the Buccaneers.
Oh, you can take Bucks and
30,
and
30.
Baker Mayfield.
35-32.
I'll tell you one thing. That's going to be a fantastic game to watch with those two quarterbacks playing at the top of their games. I am going to take Baker Mayfield as well, mostly because I'm just going to be rooting for him. I like him a lot. I don't like the way Matthew Stafford acted after the Rams won the Super Bowl with him, and that person fell off the stage, and he pretended like he didn't see him.
I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah. You got to watch this.
Is that why you're not a Matthew Stafford fan?
Yeah. You have to see this. Really horrible behavior. I got Baker Mayfield as well in Tampa Bay Bucks. I think it's going to be a close game, but they pull it out.
Okay. And now the Monday night game. This is the last game of the week. It's the Carolina Panthers versus San Francisco 49ers. A Carolina Panthers team that I said was going to make the playoffs this year, and they are up there. And this game in San Fran could judge it because this is a San Fran's team right now that's holding the last playoff spot, and Carolina could have the tiebreaker over them, or San Fran could have the tiebreaker to see if they have the same record. So I'm going to take in San Fran. I'm going to take the Carolina Panthers. They pulled a lot of upsets this year, and I think Bryce Young, who's been showing that he can be a top probably top 15 quarterback right now. I think the Panthers are going to go in to San Fran and win this game and pull an upset.
Interesting. It's going to be the Monday night game. I don't know. I think it's a very tough place to play. I think that 49ers are playing pretty good football right now. They have a fantastic defense. Probably, arguably, the best tight end in football. I think you want to look
George
at him.
Kittle.
Yeah,
Yes.
easily. I don't know. I've got 49ers 37-15 at home over the Panthers. I'm not a believer in the Panthers just yet.
You're not believing in the Panthers just yet? We'll wait and see it next week.
You and I have not agreed on many of the games this week. The proof we will discuss potentially in the next couple of weeks who comes out on top. But it's been a great time on the podcast. I really appreciate you having me.
Thank you very much. We're gonna go. I just want to go over the Thanksgiving games because I'm probably not gonna be able to film one right before Thanksgiving because I'm gonna be in Mass. I'm actually be in Massapequa all next week.
You'll have your Chiefs jersey on, I'm sure.
You really want me to be You really want me to be a Massapequa Chief?
I just think deep down you're a Massapequa guy more than the Garden City guy. That's just me talking.
I'm gonna be on that same side. I'm gonna agree with you on that actually.
Okay.
So the Thanksgiving games, the Packers and Lions. It's a 1:00 game. I'm gonna take the Detroit Lions. They ended their 7-game losing streak on Thanksgiving last year. They ended a curse. If it's not a waning gibbous moon that day, the Lions will win that because do you want to hear a fun fact about
Sure.
them? The Lions have never won a Thanksgiving game when the moon is on a waning gibbous.
Wow.
How weird of a fact is that?
That is a fun fact. I'm not going to use that in my analysis for this particular game. I think that's the 1:00 game. That's the first game, isn't it?
Yes, it is. The Lions always get the first game on Thanksgiving. That's just a Thanksgiving tradition, I guess. And it should be a very good, fun game to watch, I think.
I'll root for the Lions at home. I'm with you there. I think it's tradition. They're going to be in that dome. It's always a fun game to watch, and they always seem to be very competitive there. Chiefs Cowboys. I'm going to ride the Cowboys train after the big win.
You really hate the
versus
Chiefs, man.
Philadelphia.
You really
I
hate
think
it.
the Chiefs. I just don't think it's their year. I think the refs might try. The NFL might try to kind of skew some calls the Chiefs' way. But I'll tell you, I just see Dak Prescott as a man on a mission. And that team, this Cowboys team, is my early midseason favorite to win the Super Bowl this year.
A Cowboys team.
Never thought I'd say it.
Never though.
Late game is Bengals Ravens, right?
Yes. I'm going to go back to the Chiefs game real quick. Also, I wanted to say something else. The NFL should get rid of ties.
Totally agree. How many ties have we seen this year?
Once.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just looking at this, and I'm just like, having an extra number next to it looks so stupid, and it looks so pointless to have a tie in the NFL, in my opinion.
It makes no sense. And if you want to just go back to hockey real quick, I think the shootout is a terrible rule.
Really?
I think you're supposed to continue to play 3-on-3 overtime until you get a goal.
Did you watch the Four Nations, the Canada versus USA game?
Of course, it was unbelievable.
And the overtime rules, the 10-minute overtime, and then I believe 5-on-5, and then they go into an intermission. I think I like that, to be honest with you. I think they should have 10 minutes overtime in the regular season, and if it doesn't work, they go to 3-on-3, 5-minute, and if not, shootout.
Shootout thereafter. Okay. Well, don't forget that can get fairly long games, right? And for the NHL needs people need to get home during the week. So you have a 7. I think the reason why they do the shootout is because you don't know how long these games can last if you just continue to play 3-on-3 or 5-on-5, like you said, in the Four Nations. So I don't think they're going to get rid of it.
Actually, you know what? Make it 3-on-3, 10-minute over a 10-minute overtime, and if it doesn't work, then you have to go shoot a shootout. In my opinion, which I will guarantee you it will work.
You're not going to have a lot of shootouts, what you're saying.
Yeah,
right?
and that's what you want to avoid. Well, coming from an Islander fan who they stink in it.
We haven't been good in shootouts since we had Franz Nielsen, who had one of the highest percentage of scoring in a shootout.
Really?
Backhand. Oh, you got to look at this. Famous. He would go to his backhand and put it top shelf, and had one of the highest percentages scoring in shootout in NHL history. But
back to the football.
Back to the football.
Kansas City. I think Kansas City's winning versus Indianapolis and Dallas, and they're going to win. win this game very easily, and I think, and show to people that they are not. This dynasty isn't done yet. And I'm a person who doesn't like the Chiefs, and I'm just telling you right
I
now.
think Dom. I think this is coming from your love of Taylor Swift. I think you're a huge Swiftie, and I think that's
Yeah,
coming
right.
out in your rooting for the Chiefs the last 2 games. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it.
I'm gonna take the Kansas City Chiefs. Sadly here, but it's gonna happen.
All right. Well, that makes a market because I'm going Colts and Cowboys this weekend and the Sunday night and Thursday night game, Thanksgiving. Dallas over the Chiefs. I'm going to think it's going to be kind of close. I think it's going to be a barber 28-24. Dallas pulls it out.
In that Lions game, by the way, I'm gonna take the Lions to win that one 31-23, and I'm gonna take the Chiefs to win it in overtime. It's gonna be a very high scoring game, I think, because the Cowboys defense isn't great. 37-34 in overtime. They walk it off with a walk-off field goal.
Okay, I will just say you and I disagree on everything Chiefs except the Massapequa Chiefs. I think right now, if you had the Massapequa Chiefs taking on the Kansas City Chiefs, there's a chance the team from the South Shore of Long Island pulls it out.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. I
versus
think,
a high school team versus NFL team.
listen, they got a big offensive line. They got a cagey quarterback who can run the ball in Gargiulo. I think there's every chance the upset of the century could be Master of the Chiefs over Kansas City. They'd have to put Taylor Swift out there to make a difference.
You really hate the Kansas City Chiefs, don't you? All right, the final Thanksgiving game, and then we'll wrap this podcast up. The Cincinnati Bengals are taking on the Baltimore Ravens. I'm gonna take the Baltimore Ravens, and this is a guy who really likes the Cincinnati Bengals. Unless Joe Burrow plays, the Bengals won't win this game. I'm gonna take the Baltimore Ravens to win this one. 45-31.
Baltimore Ravens all day. Lamar Jackson has a big game. They're going to win the game going away. We're in full agreement there for a change. And Dom, as I look, it's 2:53. We have a 3:30 puck drop at UBS Arena. I think we need to wrap this up.
I think we definitely need to wrap this up. Thank you very much for being on here, Shawnee Peters. It's like always a pleasure to see people come on here. And if you guys want to have a chance of being on the podcast, DM DomsPod. We'll let you guys get a chance on it. And yeah, thank you guys very much for watching this episode.
I want to thank
of
Dom for having me on. It's been an amazing time. Let's go Islanders, and let's go Steve Cohen. Buy those Jets from Woody Johnson.